So I take it you guys have heard quite a bit of horror stories. Well, I guess since I'm here, I could tell you an interesting thing about last night. It wasn't so much as eerie. It was more of a desolate quietness draped around everything, as if I were the last man on Earth. I started to notice this soundless environment at around 10 p.m. The sound of nothing is truly stifling. I wanted to play some music, watch some TV, but I couldn't gather myself to move. So I just laid there, on my bed, hearing small ticks and pops within the walls. Sleep was out of the question. This quietness was so encompassing that I couldn't think straight. My mind would keep focusing on the sound. I must have laid there for a couple hours before moving to get up. And now here was the weirdest thing. I heard 2 rhythmic knocks on the wall near the northeast corner of my room. I paused, but shook it off as nothing. I sat at my computer and started to blog for a bit. The knocks returned once again. Pop, pop. I didn't let it sink into my mind, even though they were louder than the music I was playing. One sounded right above my head, and I looked around, checking everything. Then returning to my computer, the sound never returned again, aside from that deafening silence. It was as if something entered and had stolen all the random noises of the wild, or the weather. It was just so fucking quiet. I shuffled around trying to get comfortable. I shut off the computer and returned to bed, trying to gain some sleep. As soon as I lay down, that knock sounded right by my head. I was now locked onto this piece of wall, feeling pale and cold, realizing this thing just followed me from one end of my room to another. I was shocked. I turned away and turned on the TV. Nothing was on but some infomercials. It didn't matter anyway. I was still listening. Sure, the silence wasn't there, but it did help me listen. I remember right before bed, one last thing happened. This is mainly why I'm telling you all this now. Just as I was in the phases of slipping away into my dreams, I woke up for one brief moment. My TV had turned itself off, and I heard those 2 rhythmic knocks. Only they were outside my window. I remember looking at my window and assured that it was locked. I fell asleep. The next morning, I checked my window and everything was fine. Perhaps it was just the weather or the house settling. But one thing is for certain. The timing of the knocks were no coincidence.